We will not be blackmailed into an agreement. We will not be stampeded into an agreement. And if I may say so, we will not be charmed into an agreement until its conditions are right. Nothing that we have done has meant more than attempting to bring an end to the war in Vietnam. To think of the hopes of millions, and indeed of the hopes of many of you, ladies and gentlemen, who were standing outside these various meeting places, expecting momentous events to be occurring, while inside, one frivolous issue after another was surfaced in the last 3 days.
Somebody big just died. Former U.S. Secretary of State Henry Kissinger is dead at 100 years old. Here to help eulogize him is the one and only Mike North. Mike, how you doing, my friend?
Man, I'm feeling good. I got a good hair day going. I'm taking a look right now
looks
in
good.
admiration. No, there's no hairstylist, folks. I'm old school. It's a brush. That's what it is. You don't need makeup. You don't need this. Joe and Joe, I know. I'm checking your hair out. Got the hair going today, the front, but there you go.
There you go.
You
gotta look good.
We're ready to roll.
That's right.
It doesn't really matter how much how good us as men look. It's all about power. We saw that with Henry Kissinger.
Sure.
Pure and simple. He once said, and I liked Henry Kissinger, so if anybody's here today, Harry Kissinger, what did I say, Harry? I meant Henry, but I called him Hank. If anybody's here thinking I'm going to bash this guy, this great American man, I'll give you my reasons why in a little bit, but we're also going to do something unusual today. Because as usual, they covered Henry Kissinger, everything that he did. You know, he was in office with Nixon and everybody else.
Ford, yep.
Negotiations, Ford, the whole thing. And, you know, he had been involved in every war since the 50s, it seems like. He's involved in some way. In every
And you could say what you want about him, Mike, but he was smart as a tack.
Well, that's what I wanted. I just saw him and I compared him to today. And there's no comparison. If you got in a discussion with Henry Kissinger, you better be ready to go.
Yeah.
Yes, John. About there. It's right, baby. I love you. And don't worry, in the casket, which, by the way, open casket, closed casket. A photo, a cremation. If you're in the open casket, you know who's going to take care of you. You knew about it right there, Joe.
That's right.
Cumberland Chapels. That's right. 8300 West Lawrence Avenue. You know what you hear? Man, he looks good. Man, he looks good, which isn't good when they tell you you're dead and you look good, but better than to look bad. And who doesn't?
Absolutely.
I guarantee you there's not a hair out of place. There's not a nail not cut. There's not a tie not tied right.
That's right.
They get it done. That's right at Cumberland Chapels. And
that's right.
After you go to the wake, or after you maybe come home from work, or maybe you want to take that special someone out. Maybe it's a first date. Maybe you want to meet somebody. Pennyville Station. Tony Antonacci. Established way back when? 2018, folks. He went through COVID. They made it. 112 Main Street. His father, Tino. I'm going to be out there this week. Going to go see him. Me and B.
Get that lobster roll, Mike.
You know what? That's your specialty. Maybe I think we might name one after you over there. The Joey Mantel lobster.
I like that.
Here's the deal. Here's the deal. Without these sponsors, we don't have this great show. And like I told Joe, we're like plumbers. You need a plumber, and you need somebody big just died to tell the whole story about Henry Kissinger, okay?
Damn right, Mike.
And we got Sandra Day O'Connor coming up tomorrow night. They're dropping like flies, ladies and gentlemen.
They are. They really are.
Yeah. And tonight, we've had a good last 2-3 months. I hate to put it that way, but we're the bounty hunters of death. That's what we got. We get paid by the head. Okay. Remember Steve McQueen? Wanted
Oh,
dead
yeah.
or alive? You're wanted dead and
We want
real
him dead.
That's right. Okay. His name was Heinz Alfred Kissinger, 1923, born in a place I have a summer home, Fürth, Bavaria, in
Yeah.
Germany. And he died at age 100. What a run. Okay.
Holy smokes.
Yeah, unbelievable. He was a Republican. Ann Fleischer, I'll have to ask Ari Fleischer, who we follow each other on Twitter, if he was a
Relation.
in-law or something. I don't know, or maybe one of a baby from Liz Taylor. I have no idea. We'll get to that. We'll get to the dating in a minute.
Yeah, we will.
My personal thing about Henry Kissinger is that you can read about him all you want. And you can say what you want. I know the New York Times called him a war criminal. I mean, these people, they have no shame. The guy was great. Okay. And there he is. That guy got the top women at the end of during his life, and we're going to make fun of him. I'm going to tell you about his women in a minute.
Yeah, he's making fun of from heaven, that's for sure.
Personally, I was supposed to go to Vietnam. I had orders to go to Long Bin Jung. I was a military policeman. And usually what happens to military policemen, you lead the convoys or the escorts back then. And those guys, they didn't come back, many of them, because you're leading.
No.
But I also was a corrections officer. So I was probably going to work in the prison. I don't know. We had orders. Half the platoon was going, this is great, to Germany. And the other lucky half of the company, was going to Vietnam.
Yeesh.
And so we're in the day room, and they're working on the Paris peace talks and all this other stuff. And you know who laid the groundwork down? And Nixon. That's why nobody can say nothing bad about Nixon. He saved my life.
Oh, yeah.
He saved him and Kissinger and a lot of other politicals. They killed
a lot more lives too, for sure.
They killed 57,000, which
I know.
Will never forgive any of them for.
Right.
And I was drafted. One day I'm riding my bike at 18. The next day I'm off to Fort Polk, Louisiana. So then it starts to hit home. We had a kid on my 3 doors from me that died, Billy Weimer. I never forgot it. He died before I even was supposed to go. So Henry Kissinger's got a special place in my heart. So does Richard Nixon. And they did stop it. He was involved in a lot of things. When you're around, look at him. You know, there's a Saturday Night Live skit. They don't even show it anymore because there was some language that was inappropriate. But Belushi plays. Some of the language was inappropriate for now because nobody can take a joke anymore.
Sure.
But I would say, and I told Joe about it. Joe didn't even know about it, right, Joe?
I did not, and I'm a big Belushi and Aykroyd fan. I didn't even know about it.
Belushi knocked it, well, because they're not going to talk. Look at him. And I said, Joe, just get a picture. Aykroyd, even with the mustache, is great as Nixon. And Belushi is Kissinger.
There's a ringer, yeah.
And there's a scene where they drop to their knees, and Kissinger is Jewish, and Nixon goes, please. And just if you can find it, get the dialogue to check it out. Absolutely outstanding. So that's what he meant to me. He did a lot of other things, and then we'll talk about rate a date in a minute, Joe. Well, I know what was your impression of him? I mean, he looked like a bulldog. The guy looked like a bulldog.
Yeah, he was a bulldog, and like you said, he's one of those really divisive political figures, right? Like he did all this. He did a lot of things great for foreign policy, right? He shaped foreign policy.
Yeah, well, here's what he did do wrong. They opened things up for China.
That's what I was just about to get to. Yeah, he opened up things for China.
And I didn't like that, but he did it, and they did it.
Yeah, and he opened things up with China. He did shape foreign policy for the better at the time, except for the China stuff.
Yeah.
You know, the war crime stuff that people bring up is all about those Cambodia bombings that happened during the war. Okay, people are going to look at it a multitude of ways. I'm not here to tell you which way to feel, but I will say that he did help end that war at the end of the day.
That's right. And I know that they bombed the hell out of them, but they wanted to keep the war going, and they never really tried to win like they could. And I was going to give up my life for it.
Yeah.
I mean, now that I look back at it, I feel terrible about everybody. And you know what? My dad he wanted me to go get my draft card. And then when I actually got drafted, the guy was in tears. I go, well, you're the one, but you had to get it back then. And now it seems foreign. It's like your child. If you had an 18-year-old, Joe, and you have to, and he gets drafted,
that's just crazy.
I mean, and there's a war going on. Think about it. And it's in another place.
Yeah.
You know, so Henry Kissinger was great. Now, that's fine. You got any more pictures before we get to the date?
Yeah, I got some older pictures of him.
All right, there's Diane Sawyer, Barbara Walters.
That's his wife.
Remember me? Pretty
old and young.
yeah, pretty lady. Tall. There's my guy. Hi, how you doing? What day?
He served on the 9/11 commission as well, by the way.
Yeah, look at him. I look the same if I dye my hair. Yeah, this is the mistake that people look at where they really. And then this is him at probably 100 during his
last. Close to it. Yeah.
Any more?
Well, I have some more pictures of the people he dated, but we can dive into that.
That's it. Oh, do you have the ones that aren't the individual ones? You just want?
Yeah. I've got a little short video with a montage of some of the women that he dated.
There's my girl. I don't know, Raquel. I don't know. Liv Ullman. Oh wait, these are the ones we're gonna rate, right?
These are some. Well, we're gonna rate them, but this is just a montage.
Candace Bergen or Diane Sawyer or somebody.
Candace Bergen, you're correct.
Jill St. John.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ Almighty. And there's Raquel again. The hair I wasn't a fan of, but yeah, she
look at that smile. He's pretty happy, huh?
I want a blowjob. You know who I am. Listen, he said that power was the greatest aphrodisiac, and he proved it.
Yes, he did.
Case. All right. Now, everybody's been waiting all over town this morning before all the championship games. We're going to come up between a 1 and a 5, 5 being the highest. If you want to jump in on Twitter right now, you can vote on each one. And we'll tabulate the votes, but Joe and I will give our opinions between 1 and 5, okay? 1 being the lowest, you know. I mean, he didn't date anybody that's going to get a 1. I guarantee you that, folks, okay?
That's a fact.
That's a fact. Only people that dated better-looking women were probably Clark Gable and Elvis. That's it.
I mean, this list is insane, Mike. First off, I just want to say the women.
Oh, Joe's one of the great producers. And he's good on Joe. Joe took over for the great Aldo Candia. Aldo's under siege recently with the bear stuff, with all the bear stuff going on with the barroom. Don't forget to check it all out.
Oh, for sure.
But then I tell Joe about some of the go get the individual pictures, and then he got the actual pictures of them when they were actually dating him, of that around that time frame.
Yeah.
All right. So how many do we have total?
Oh, geez. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
All right, we'll go quick as we can. Let's go to number 1 first, and then
All right, let's see. We got Diane Sawyer, Mike.
Jesus Christ, she never looked like that since when I watched her. Right there is how she looked at the time.
Yep.
I think she didn't look at that. You know what?
This is 1970, Mike.
Yeah, God. 1 to 5.
5 being the highest.
Looking like that, I'm going.
I'd
5.
say, yeah.
Okay.
I'll go a little conservative. I'll go 4 because there's some real 5s on this list.
Well, what the hell is that?
That's usually it's a 5.
When she was on ABC, I could be on morphine, heroin, and drink 10 6-packs of old style. My dad used to say you can drink them pretty, but you couldn't drink her that pretty. I don't remember her looking like that. Beautiful lady. Okay, next one.
Prime. That's prime for sure.
Yeah.
Next, we have Liv Ullman, Mike.
Okay. Look, can I tell you something? My mother's 94. If she's in that pose with some hands around her, she's going to look good. Okay? But I got to be honest. She's got to be a 4. She's a 4 to me. Only because
I think I'm in agreement there, Mike. I'd put her at a 4 as well.
I'll put her at a 4. 1 to 4. Okay.
All right, we got Jill St. John.
Oh my God. I'm sorry. I'm going 5.
Double fives.
Double 5s for Jill St. John.
Yep.
Imagine
I
her
go.
with those doe eyes looking up. Oh,
Yep.
why did
Samantha
I ever
Egger.
looking up? That's terrible. Okay. Wait a minute. Who is that?
That's Samantha Egger. It's one of the
Samantha
women.
Egger, underrated, perky. I'm going to give her a 3.5.
Yeah,
Which is outstanding, Joe. It's like a B minus.
It's good. I'll go 4. I'll go 4. I like the
You're
look.
soft. You're soft.
Here's
you
one
have
of
a
Mike's.
daughter, don't you? Do you have a daughter?
I do. Yeah.
I do.
What gave it away? Next, you got one of Mike's favorites. You got Shirley MacLaine.
Okay. She's not from Terms of Endearment, Shirley MacLaine there. This is around the time, a little bit later, that Hank, as I call him, Kissinger, was dating.
Yeah.
And I met her at the Bellagio. I'll never forget it. She's at the Prime House, and I'm walking. I think was I with John Suntress or Knuckles or somebody? We see her. I go, there's Shirley MacLaine. She's sitting with some older guy. I come up to her. I go, hi, Miss MacLaine. My name's Mike North. I just want to say hi. She goes, oh, hi. Would you like to join us for dessert? I go, no, thank you. That's okay. And I walked away, and I've never forgotten that I said no. I could have had dessert with Shirley MacLaine. I'm a moron. I give her, just for being nice that night and everything else, a 5.
I'll go 5 too. She was a dime back in the day, that's for sure.
Damn right. Who else?
All right, Mike, here you go.
This is unbelievable.
Marlo Thomas.
Unreal. Here's the problem. He messes with her wrong. Danny Thomas has him killed. The father. He was Armenian, I believe, and he was a comedian who performed in Chicago, all over the world. But he's a wonderful humanitarian. St. Jude's Hospital, Memphis. Marlo Thomas, who I still get Christmas cards from, because when I was hosting on a regular basis, they would send them out from St. Jude's, and she's still going strong. That girl was one of my favorite series back then.
Yeah,
she was an independent woman. She was like Mary Tyler Moore back in the day. I'm going to give her
look like her a little.
I'm going to give her a 5 because of her charity, because of the hospital, because of her kindness and her looks. Period.
There you go. I'm going to go 4.5. I'll go 4.5.
We don't have, I was cruel. I gave somebody a 3.5. I feel like crap. Okay.
John in the chat says, my dad said you can drink an ugly girl pretty, but can't drink a fat girl thin.
My dad told me that was when I was 15. He says, yeah. My dad just simply said back then, you can drink them pretty, you can't drink them thin, period.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right, Mike, this next one is a doozy. You got Candace Bergen.
Bergen.
Sorry, I'm getting my age.
I know. She's about 100 now. She's still rolling. Was the daughter of Edgar Bergen. You know who that was?
I don't.
See, this is what I love with the youngsters. It's like an education. If you look up if you look up Edgar Bergen and Charlie McCarthy, just type them in real quick. Type them in real quick. One was the father, and one, if you ever read, was like his favorite child.
The guy with the puppets?
That's it. The puppets. That's Charlie McCarthy, and he was a famous ventriloquist. And she used to sit at dinner, and the puppet would sit at dinner. How about that?
Yeah, I got the picture for you.
There you go. Come on, put him up. Look at my guys. That's her father, and that's Charlie McCarthy. And the father was closer with Charlie McCarthy than with the daughter, the little live daughter.
Wow.
How about that? Yeah.
You can't get that on every show, Mike. That's why people watch this show.
Well, we talk about death and ventriloquism. And
That's right. All the above.
Yeah. He had also a buddy, Knucklehead Smith. If you that was a puppet that you guys could look up later on Wikipedia.
Nice.
Yeah.
This list.
He had a monocle. Look up Knucklehead Smith. Come on.
Knucklehead Smith, you got it.
Yeah, Knucklehead Smith.
Look at that. I got it already.
Let's see.
I'm fast, Mike.
Yeah. Let's see what you got there.
I'm pulling it up now. Hold on.
This was my favorite. The third banana. He'd come out after Charlie came out. That's right. Take your time.
Look at that. He looks like the Monopoly man.
Hold on. Okay, let's see.
Sorry, I had to change the format of it. Here
Oh,
it
that's
comes.
all right.
There it is.
Don't worry about it.
Boom.
Don't
I got
worry
it,
about
Mike.
it.
I got
Got
it,
it?
Mike.
All right.
Here it is. I promise. Here it is this time. It's taking forever to upload, but here it is.
All right. Now, which one was Charlie McCarthy? Is that Knucklehead Smith? That's Knucklehead Smith. Who cares?
Isn't it? No?
There's a Knucklehead Smith and a Charlie McCarthy. Did you look up Charlie McCarthy?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we got, I don't care. They were great. And this guy, like this dolls, like you said, more
Yeah.
than, who else we got? We digressed. Who else we got?
We still got more. It's crazy. Liza Minnelli, Mike.
1. No, I'll give her a 2. How about you?
Yeah, on this list, she's a 2 for sure.
I mean, she won an Academy Award. Judy Garland's daughter she's battled through some things. Seems like a very nice woman. She's a very good singer. So, I mean, I give her all the respect in the world. But with this crew,
yeah, especially with this person on the list,
Elizabeth Taylor, for God's sake.
Elizabeth Taylor,
6.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, just for her power and her status and she was top billing with men back in the day. But she was married about 6 times, 7 times. Married Richard Todd, I believe, is the guy on the left. Not Richard Todd. He's the quarterback of the Jets. Michael Todd. That's it. So she was always under the spotlight, but she's huge. Okay, what else?
We got one more on this list, Mike.
Isn't this been fun?
It has been fun.
And then we threw some Knucklehead Smith and Charlie McCarthy in.
That's right. And this one's Mike's all-time favorite.
This one hurt. But if you look at Henry Kissinger with her, his eyes are completely enlightened. They're like, I cannot. With her, look at this. If he could have married one of them, just by the way his reaction is, I think it would have been her.
No doubt about that.
And she was a great woman. She was one of my favorites. I remember at the score on my questionnaire, they asked me, who do you admire the most? On my first questionnaire to get the job. Who do you admire most in today's sports scene? And I said Raquel Welch. And I still got the job. Hey,
man, that's what it's all about.
Whatever. So I got to say, I'm going to say there's 5 5s I gave. And you gave out 3 5s and 4 4s. So they were all nice. But if I had to pick one, the best looking picture was Diane Sawyer. I got to be honest. I'm not even, seriously. Stunning.
That's,
right? And you gave.
They're all dimes, man.
They're all dimes. What is that today? Slang dimes?
I don't know. Maybe.
Hot. They're all hot chicks, we used to say back in the day, but now we'd be, You can't say that.
Yeah, hot. No, they're hot, smoking, baby. Whatever you want to call it.
Whatever, smoking hot.
Henry Kissinger left behind a legacy of great politics, a lot of great politics, and a lot of controversial politics. But there's one thing that's not controversial at all, Mike. The man secured some beautiful women in his day.
We don't know if he got them all, but I think, you know who wasn't on the list that he did get that? I guarantee you he wasn't. And I heard he wasn't happy. Richard Nixon had an issue. Kissinger was out and he had a date with this starlet, got to third base allegedly with her and got the call to come back to the White House. Zsa Zsa Gabor, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, darling. Zsa Zsa Gabor. Anyway, that's the life and legacy of Henry Kissinger on and off the court, if you so to please. One of our better shows, I believe, just because the enlightenment of the female that he dated was second to none. You could put in Namath, Elvis, anybody. Henry Kissinger was top 3.
Oh, absolutely. This guy just knew how to get it done, man, in politics and in other places.
All right, so you're so careful. So for everybody here, on behalf of Joe and myself, to the Kissinger family, if any of you are left, this guy lived to be 100. My mother complained. She goes, none of my friends are here. They all died, Mom. You're 94. You outlived them. Okay. I'm sorry.
It's the truth.
I mean, that's the way it is. So all her friends are gone, except one, she says. To all of the Kissinger family, your dad, your grandfather, and your father, your dad, whatever he was. What a great patriot for America. Did some wonderful things. And like I said, you're there long enough. You're going to go up, down, and all around. Nobody did it better than him. Much respect to Henry Kissinger.
Much respect, and thanks for tuning in to Somebody Big Just Died. We will see you guys tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Central.
Oh, baby.
For Sandra Day O'Connor.
Andy, baby.
Another big one.
Yep.
But we will see you guys then. Have a great day.